level on the flat. It's called the Goffs Land Rover bumper, and it's for babies that were bought last year as 3 and 4 year olds at the Goffs sale here up the road in Kill in County Kildare. And Hayley, these are horses that come to the sale every year, but the man and lady that sells them, if they go and win this race, they win a Land Rover.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an unbelievable proposition for the vendors going to the Land Rover sale. So all the horses running in this next race went through our ring over in Kill, and they were entered for this race. And whoever sold the winner of this race gets a Land Rover Discovery. I think it's to the value of about 45 grand. So, you know, if you look at Glockamara, for example, he was sold for 100 grand by Peter Maloney. Peter Maloney getting another bonus today if he pulls it off for Joseph O'Brien.
It's a catalogue and a sale that has stood the test of time in terms of the likes of Sam Crow and Altior. It's for people that enjoy horses going to an auction. It's real theatre.
Oh, it's amazing. It's a really fascinating thing, and we definitely welcome everyone to come and experience it. As you said, you'd see the likes of Altior has gone through the ring on the Land Rover bumper. Sam Crow, his half-brother, Think Positive, is one of the market leaders for this race. So you never know what kind of stars you're going to see at the Goffs Land Rover sale, and you can come on the 12th and the 13th of June if you want to see more action.
Thank you very much, Hayley. What will win this year's running? First of all, the runners and riders for this year's renewal of the Goffs Land Rover bumper, and it's going to be a race to savour. Think Positive, lots of reputations in this contest. You have Think Positive, you have Glockamara, of course, great name, trained by Joseph O'Brien. He was bought last year at the sale, a son of fame and glory, for 100,000. He was bred by the Chug family and sold by Peter Maloney from his County Limerick Rathmore nursery. But number 1 is Ado de Buena, Roger Quinlan riding for Conroe Dwyer. 2, Captain Hume, the son of Yum Zane, of course, now standing down at Rathbarry alongside all those stallions, Malinas and also, of course, Robin Deschamps down with the Cashmans. Richie Harding riding number 2, Captain Hume, in the colours of Dermot O'Leary, of course, who in the past won a Galway Hurdle. 3, Column of Fire is Mark O'Hare. 4, Commander of Fleet, won a point to point. Barry O'Neill will ride for Gordon Elliott. 5, Design Matters. This is the horse trained by Robert Tyner down in Kinsale and County Cork. Raymond Barron, he was the horse that was the market mover that Tom Lee will tell us about momentarily. 6, Ferocious is an absentee. 7 for the Goffs Land Rover will be Foxy Jacks. Their colours that are familiar to you, of course. Comanche Chief, of course, colours of Dermot Desmond. Johnny Barry rides for trainer Mouse Morris. 8, Glockamara, Derek O'Connor riding for Joseph. Number 9, Kilkenny Gold, Katie Walsh will rides Relegate, the Flemetsville filly, tomorrow in the big champion bumper. 10, Santona Plessis, Anthony Fox claims the £7. Number 11, See You in Vinnie's, I'm sure that's the story behind that name. Nina Carberry will ride for Noel Mead. Dennis Hogan trains number 12, Tashini. Jack Hogan takes £7 off. By
It was realistically probably an ordinary bumper at Huntingdon, but he won quite well. Idled a little bit in front, but kept going. So.
And had you thought of this for him for a while?
Yeah, well, you know, he was qualified, so nothing to lose by having a go. But whether he's good enough, I've got no idea, because I don't know what the others are. They've not run, have they? So.
I know. It's a big mystery, but he looks the part. And what about the ground with it? What was the ground like at Huntingdon?
Soft when he won. So yeah. Hopefully he came with that all right.
Well, the very best of luck, and nothing else during the week.
No, unfortunately, very unusual. It's our only runner, so just for the one day, I'm going home tomorrow morning. So.
Well, enjoy it while you're here, and the very best of luck, Philip. Good to see you. Thanks a million. Thank you.
There we go. Here is nearest to us is number 16. That's Wolf of All Streets, and Wolf of All Streets has had the one run, finished behind Park Paddocks in a maiden hurdle at Cork. Think Positive, Ted. Half to Sam Crow.
Yeah, he was trained in England. His first run he ran in Doncaster, and he ran quite well. He was fourth to bumper, and then moved over to Willie Mullins, as he has a pair of earplugs in him, and well related half brother to Sam Crow. Coming from Willie's yard, you'd have to respect him. I don't know how many Willie horses Willie bought out of the Land Rover sale. Maybe this is the only one he has. Maybe he didn't buy him at the Land Rover anyway, and he was bought at it by somebody else. So you'd have to think this. Coming from Willie's, he's 4-1 favourite. I'd say that's more Willie and Patrick now than anything else. I was only looking when we were covering this race, looked at the catalogue. There was over 500 horses at that sale. It's hard to believe that only 16 or 17 of them could make it to the racecourse.
This is Commander of Fleet, who's a 5-1 shot. Commander of Fleet, ridden by Barry O'Neill, and he has had a win and a point to point. That was his only public outing. He's a son of fame and glory out of Cunna Grace. and trained by Gordon Elliott. So he's heading the right way. He was the only finisher, I have to say, in a full-runner race, in a full-runner maiden. And see what he can do now on the level here.
13, that's him, that's given. Richie Deegan rides this horse. We just heard Philip Hobbs talk about him. He filled us in on everything about him. There's no point in I adding to it. He's a nice colt by Great Pretender. Nice gelding, I should say, colt gelding. There's quite a number. There's 3 Fame and Glories in the race.
Design Matters is interesting because Robert Tyner has trained the winner of this race for the last 2 years. Now, Design Matters has had a couple of runs, and interestingly, they were over hurdles. He's on the flat now. Raymond Barron rides him. He's the son of Master Craftsman. He's got a bit of a page, and as we know, Robert Tyner, he knows exactly what it takes to win. Glockamora, Ted?
8 is Glockamora, a son of Fame and Glories. A couple of Fame and Glories here. This fellow trained by Joseph O'Brien, Derek O'Connor on board. Top trainer, top jockey, nice pedigree. Any more than that, we can't say. 8 to 1, not a lot of support from the ring with the connections. There's 3 Fame and Glories in this race. If anything, take after their father. They should be good horses.
Brian, how do they bet?
Down here in the betting ring, Think Positive, Robert, is your market leader at 4 to 1. Commander of Fleet, 11 to 2. That's a given 6 to 1. Each way support for Glockamara from 8 to 1, 7 to 1, now into 13 to 2, Tom.
Brian, you've mentioned to me before, racing, when you come to the betting ring, it's something like the, if you will, the racing stock exchange. And really the key horse here, the talking point today, has been number 5 for the Tyners, Design Matters. They won this race 2 years ago with Coeur de Lion, 12 months ago with Vision Day Flow. And Robert Tyner, who's only just come off crutches, could he be performing some sort of victory dance there? Because this Design Matters, 100 to 1 overnight, 66, 50 and 40 earlier today, showing at 10 and 12 to 1 here. Think Positive, your favourite, ex-Peter Hedger, now with Willie. Money also for the Hobbs train. That's a given, showing at around about 7 or 8 to 1. Sally Ann is down at the start.
Down at the start here with Ruby Walsh. We're just watching these horses circling down at the start. Is just making some comments to tell the jockeys that they're circling in too tight a circle, Ruby.
Paddy Graffin has given out already. You know, look, there's 12 of these horses the first time out, so while everyone might want to be in the first 3 or 4, there's not really too many of them who are going to actually want to make the running. So everyone is jockeying for a position. They might go around the hurdle again. Val O'Connell is directing them, the man in the black on the left. Paddy Graffin, you can hear the background, is holding us a minute to go. So they'll circle once more, they'll make their way out. But with 12 first timers, there mightn't be a huge amount of pace here. And the Land Rover traditionally has been run quite often at a steadily enough gallop. You know, you have a few Jigginstown ones coming forward. Derek O'Connor and Paul Shanahan, Mrs. Paul Shanahan's colours, even the blue with the pink stripe, he seems to be coming in front, and he's plenty of experience, so he should be able to keep the other riders under control, and they'll all walk out here and get a first time start. You've Patrick Mullins in the navy colours on the black horse with the white face. He'll be able to be vocal and keep the other riders in a line and keep it as steady as he can. Now you can hear them all shouting at each other. They're jockeying for a bit of position. Katie Walsh in the blue with the yellow sleeves, on the white horse with the yellow with the chestnut horse with the white face even. Harley Dunn on the outside. His horse has had a run, so he might want to be quite forward. Paddy Graffin is keeping him in check, but you know, to be fair to them, in a 100 grand race, you know, these riders are keeping this well under control. Paddy seems to be happy enough. He's telling Katie Walsh to pull it back, but she's under control. But Derek and Barry O'Neill, Patrick Mullins, Katie Walsh, Harley Dunn, they're keeping this well under control.
All the senior riders.
Yeah, and they're going to get a good first time start. It's going to be like, this is a perfect race to ride, and everyone's where they want to be, and they're going to get a good start. And Richard, it's over to you now. Tell us who's going to win.
I'll tell you in due course, Ruby. We wouldn't like to spoil the surprise. They're called in, that's it, they're racing for the Land Rover bumper over the 2 mile trip, and the one that's going to take them along in the early stages is Glockamara. Commander of Fleet is just outside, and then wider again, racing a little keenly, is Think Positive in the white face, the half brother to Sam Crow. Wider again is That's a Given. Kilkenny Gold, the chestnut with the white face, is widest. Next and widest of all is Wolf of All Streets, Harley Dunn aboard, right down the inside, sitting about 3rd or 4th column of fire, but correctly predicted by Ruby. Very steady early pace, and Derek O'Connor seems happy with that because he's setting it on Glockamara. Commander of Fleet is 2nd, Think Positive is 3rd. That's a Given, racing keenly in 4th, and towards the outside of this one, towards the inside rather, is Column of Fire, and then widest of all is Wolf of All Streets, Kilkenny Gold, Foxy Jackson mid-division. See you and Vinny's just ahead of that one, and then tucked down the inside is what What You Call Her. And they're being followed just in behind by Design Matters in the red jacket with the yellow cross of Lorraine. Quite a bit of money for this one. Some shouts of 100 to 1 yesterday, a little bit of 8s and 10s today. Trained, of course, by Robert Tyner, who's won the last 2 runnings of this race, Coeur de Lion and Vision de Flow. So now they turn away from the stands, and it's Glock O'Mara who steadily makes his way along the side of the track. Commander of Fleet is second, then Think Positive in third. Towards the inside is Column of Fire, and they're being followed by See You and Vinnie's, and That's a Given. And they're being chased back in the field by What You Call Her, who's next. Wolf of All Streets is towards the outside. Foxy Jackson, Santana Plazy is next, with Design Matters in between them. Towards the back is a Dos No Bueno with Captain Hume. Another one towards the back, and racing keenly back marker is Tobias Loughlin. So they're on the descent, bringing them on down towards the bend. That'll bring them into the back straight. And Glock O'Mara with on the outside Commander of Fleet, and just behind them the white face of Think Positive. That's a Given is next on the outside of Column of Fire. But up front, it is still Glock O'Mara with just outside Commander of Fleet, who's racing in second spot. Close third is Think Positive. Column of Fire is down the inside. That's a Given is next, and they're being chased by See You and Vinnie's. Wolf of All Streets is wide of Kilkenny Gold, and this group are being followed by the white jacket of Foxy Jacks. Just outside this one is Tashini. Design Matters in the red. What You Call Her's got a good run through on the rail there. Santana Plazy is next. They're being followed towards the back by a Dos No Bueno, Tobias Loughlin, and the back marker, the sheepskin noseman, is Captain Hume. So they're continuing across the far side now. They're just right across from my position in the stands, and Glock O'Mara has Commander of Fleet up on the outside, and they're being chased in a close third by Think Positive. Then That's a Given, who's next. Right down the inside is Column of Fire. They're being followed by Kilkenny Gold and the white face wide, widest of all, and remaining so for most of the race has been Wolf of All Streets. Tashini's just behind this one. Foxy Jacks is just inside them. Inside this one again, red jacket Design Matters, sitting there tracking the leaders in the green jacket with the white sleeves and green stars. That's Nina Carberry aboard See You and Vinnie's, out of an own sister to Shinrock Paddy this one. Then towards the inside of What You Call Her remains Column of Fire. Towards the back, Captain Hume, Tobias Loughlin, and a Dos No Bueno, but there's really very little between first to last now. They're very, very tightly bunched as they begin to leave the back straight behind them and head across now past the 5 furlong pole. Glock O'Mara with on the outside Commander of Fleet, Think Positive, Column of Fire, and then trying to make ground. That's a Given gets into it with See You and Vinnie's. Kilkenny Gold is in that group. Widest of all remains Wolf of All Streets. Design Matters is stacked up behind, as are a number of them stacked in behind Foxy Jacks, and on the inside behind See You and Vinnie's is Column of Fire, and they're being followed by Santana Plazy, but very, very tightly bunched now as they make their way on the turn in towards the home turn. And up front it is still Glock O'Mara. Now he's asked for effort. Going well is Commander of Fleet, Barry O'Neill. Last year's winning rider Glock O'Mara is Derek O'Connor. Now Think Positive, Patrick Mullins bidding for another one. That's a Given, and Richie Deegan picking up. Kilkenny Gold is next. Design Matters trying to get into it as they begin to turn towards home, and it's Commander of Fleet and Barry O'Neill who leads them in. That's a Given goes in pursuit. They're being followed by Kilkenny Gold down the inside. Glock O'Mara switching to come with his challenge now. By outside of Kilkenny Gold is Wolf of All Streets, but setting sail for home now. It is Commander of Fleet who's beginning to open up now from in second spot, trying to close his Design Matters, but Commander of Fleet has set sail and quick and clear, and it's out in front and a long way clear. Commander of Fleet is a long, long way clear from in second spot. Column of Fire staying on for second. Design Matters third. Santana Plazy is back staying on for third, but it's Gordon Elliott striking back here with a 1, 2, 3, and it goes to Commander of Fleet for Barry O'Neill and Gordon Elliott, as I say. Column of Fire second, Santana Plazy third, then Design Matters, What You Call Her, Glock O'Mara, Wolf of All Streets, and then See You and Vinnie's with Foxy Jackson, Kilkenny Gold, back to That's a Given, and Captain Hume. Dos No Bueno was next, and they were followed in by Tashini, Think Positive, and a disappointing Tobias Loughlin. But this one goes to number 4 on your card, Commander of Fleet. He was one of 2 previous winners in the race. He was a son of fame and glory. Barry O'Neill rides for Gordon Elliott, who of course took the 1, 2 and 3. His dam, a bumper winner in Limerick for Owen O'Grady. He's from the family of Direct Access, Fox Rockhead and Deaf Duty, and if you do have your catalogue nearby, he was lot 210. You can see if you can pick out a racehorse.
Oh, what a way to reply. Gordon Elliott, first, second and third, and Commander of Fleet is the runaway winner. Barry O'Neill ridden and didn't half win it, Ted.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of a few fame and glories in the race. He won a point. He quickened up really well. A good advertisement for fame and glory. Unfortunately, he's not with anybody anymore. He passed away early on in the year, but he was a great racehorse himself. Probably would have been a superstar only for Sea the Stars. And this fella, he's transformed plenty of his ability into this. He's from a good staying family, as Richard Pugh said. Quickened up well, won a point, and quickened away well. Gordon first, second and third, and this fella has scooted in here from Gordon's other horse, Column of Fire, a son of Robin de Champs in second. and he was third as well. But there was all over. The winner, he quickened up, changed gear, and away with him. Steadily run race. He showed plenty of pace. He only hacked along and showed plenty of gears for a horse that stays, won a point, and he's got a bright future.
That's not uncommon for ourselves, actually. So many unraced horses, there's no guarantee of pace, and there's so few of these had experience that, 9 times out of 10, all those sales races are steadily run races with so many so many newcomers in it.
And Fame and Glory, he's, I'd say, unfortunately, he's not around anymore, but I'd say he's going to make a great stallion, because he was a bloody great racehorse. He won an Ascot Gold Cup. He only ran up to see the stars 2 or 3 times in some of them really good races over 1.25 miles and 1.5 miles. He's a well-bred horse, a son of Monju's, and this horse is from a good staying family, plenty of stamina in the family. Sally Ann is with Barry O'Neill. Barry, I think, is going to be champion point rider again this year.
Barry's just joining us now. He had to go an awful long way to pull up, Barry. He didn't look too tired going past the line.
He was full of runs, sir. Went over the top of the hill, but we went very steady early, so that's why he's supposed to be 4th or 5th, but we went very steady. I kicked off the home bend. He just kept picking up. He's not my ride. Lisa's or Jamie's ride, and I tossed it with Jamie. At the moment, he got a bad fall, as everyone knows, and speed recovered him as well.
Yeah, I can imagine, though, that it was the perfect result for Gordon's team. I know Katie and all the stable staff from Gordon's were very happy with the 1, 2, 3 in the race for Gordon.
Definitely. Look, it's great to be sitting on horses like this for Gordon, and to play a little part in it, and I wish him all the best of luck.
Well, we'll hear from Gordon now with Tracy.
Yeah, you certainly will. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 for this man beside me. Of course, Aintree Grand National winning trainer, and I think he recovered from those celebrations, but this was pretty impressive, wasn't it? Yeah, he couldn't pull him up.
Yeah, he's a nice horse in fairness. A big thanks has to go to Pat Doyle. He trained to win a point, and Michael and Eddie says to me, if you think he's good enough to take for Land Rover, take him. So I have him now about a month now, or 5 weeks. We never even gathered him, we just cantered him away, so Pat done all the hard work with him, so it's brilliant, unbelievable.
If he continues showing what he's showing, it could be something really special.
He'd be a nice horse in summer's grass, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's absolutely lovely, and you've been on some roller coaster. It's just been amazing.
Unbelievable, yeah. Listen, it's a great game. You get level fairly quick. Willie comes out and wins the first 3, but we got a good result there. We got the first 3 home in that one. So listen, whatever happens.
And a very busy week ahead.
Yeah, we've got a busy week. We'll enjoy it anyway. It's tough going, but we'll enjoy it.
Yeah, well, very best of luck to you both. It's great. Well done.
Yeah, well done to Barry. Well done to Gordon. Well done to the whole lot, the team, first, second and third, and that was worth 90,000 to the stable, and that reduces the deficit, as they say. What is it, 316,000 between them now again. So things looking a little healthier for Gordon and his lot. Jigginstown first and second. They love a nice looking horse. They have picked well. First and second here. Eddie O'Leary, the man who picks him out.
He wasn't over dear, 47 grand.
Absolutely not.
All by Fame and Glory. Mount Eaton, I think is that the Hoare family. I'm not sure, but I think it is. I don't know any of them studs by the names.
Well, that's Philip Hoare on the right at the horse and the was they're walking in.
Well, that's Philip Hoare, yeah, it's the horse who is Mount Eaton. So they've been great producers. Philip's father before him and all the lads, and they're all very much involved. A couple of them are in the veterinary profession, some of them based in America. They're a very, very knowledgeable family as far as horses go, and bloodstock in general. And a nice one for Barry. Nice big winner. He's a lot of point winners. He's a fine rider, Barry O'Neill. Good man. He's got great opposition with Jamie Codd and Derek O'Connor. And mention of Jamie too. Jamie got a horrible old fall on Sunday. So Jamie, if you're looking in, we wish you the best. I hope you make a speedy recovery.
These bumper winners are worth some few quid when they do it in style like that. Vision de Flo, who won a year ago, he was a 25,000 purchase at the Land Rover, and after he won this race a year ago, he went to the sale here 2 days later, and he made $250,000. Of course, he's turned out to be really decent.
This fella definitely won't be going to the sale.
No.
That's for sure. Eddie does a great job. I know he's a good bank balance to pay, but he buys a lot of good horses. A lot of good horses.
Happy looking, aren't they?
As happy as they can be. Eddie would not exactly.
The runner-up they paid a little bit more for. He's a half-brother to Tully East, Column of Fire. Santana places another of Gordon's runners, just had the 3 runners, first, second and third. He cost 78,000.
But I mean, Jenkinstown managed to get a couple here at the sale. There was 508 horses at that sale, and only 17 of them were able to line up today in this bumper.
It's been won by very, very good horses.
It might
in
be
the
that
past.
now. There might be the best horses in the world.
Very good horses.
But only 17 of them lined up after 500 of them going through a ring.
Yeah, but there's two ways of looking at that now, Dad. I mean, you buy them as unraced horses last May. To get 17 of them mature enough and forward enough to run this spring, that's a fair ask as well. A lot of them would have needed a bit of time. Maybe some of them weren't sold. And yeah, 17. I don't even remember balloting in this race. I mean, to turn unbroken horses around to running that quick, it takes a fair bit of them.
Very true.
It does.
So our winner has landed a real good pot as well. He's got 60,000 back, and here are some of the connections.
Yeah, Robert, absolutely. I'm here in the paddock with the winning owner, Michael O'Leary, Gigginstown.
Gigginstown, Tom.
Gigginstown, indeed. Put me right in my stride. I suspect you're looking pretty cool, calm and collected, but Barry O'Neill, as he came over the line, was punching the line with joy. Inwardly, you must be absolutely thrilled, aren't you, with that?
Look, it was a very nice run. I mean, I was thrilled with the 2 horses ran well. You know, we don't buy these to win bumpers, but they look like 2 nice horses going the right way. The winner won a point to point for Pat Doyle. In fact, Pat has done most of the training. I think he only went up to Gordon about 3 weeks ago. But it's great for Gordon. I think he had the first and the second. Nice ride, great win.
It's early days for Commander of Fleet, but General Principal Tiger Roll, could this be the next superstar of the production line?
Yeah, that's too far away, as you know. Like, hopefully next year he'll go hurdling, you know, and if he does well over hurdling, then we'll see where they go. But as you know, making plans for these horses for over a 3 or 4 or 5 year period is a complete waste of time, because...
Well, you're doing pretty well at it thus far.
Well, you throw, as JP always says, you throw enough darts at the board, eventually something will stick, and Tiger Roll. So no, we've had a great year. Gordon's had a great year. You know, to win the Grand National was fantastic.
And on that note, very quickly, Dunacross, Shattered Love, obviously the Thyestes winner, Monbeg Notorious, 3 good chances to try and throw a dart at this Grade 1 upcoming at 640.
Yeah, I mean, this is the one I'd prefer to win this one, clearly, because it's a novice chase. I mean, I think Shattered Love will put up a good performance. I'm not sure. I think it's probably a bit beyond Monbeg Notorious and Dunacross. Dunacross has run badly the last 2 times, so hopefully we can put that down to the ground. But he's been to Cheltenham, he ran in the Irish Grand National, so, you know, he might be a little bit on the tired side.
Oh, well, Commander of Fleet, absolutely superb. How impressive was he? Super. Michael, thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you very much. Well done.
The Goffs Land Rover bumper always produces a nice horse, and Commander of Fleet, you can add him to your notebook. Novice hurdling next year. The Son of Fame and Glory, an 8.5 length winner. The price 5 to 1, did touch 6 to 1 on track. Sold by the Hoare family from that nursery down in County Wexford that has produced many good horses. Mount Eaton Stud. They'll be getting the keys to the Land Rover, having been the vendors last year. Purchased them €35,000 a foal. Sold them for 47, and they've produced a nice horse. Commander of Fleet 5 to 1. Second, number 3, Column of Fire at 12 to 1, and third, Santana Plessis at 20 to 1. 1, 2, 3 for Gordon Elliott. You saw the colours of Michael O'Leary. We're going to roll back the years to 2012. We have the champion chase next, but time to look at the Racing Vault. A horse called Sir Deschamps.
And Sir Deschamps, the long odds-on favourite.
You'd like to see this horse jump a clear round. Davy won't ask him to do a whole lot because he knows he has the pace of these.
And Sir Deschamps, the leader from Mossy Joe, just over a length between them. At the last, Sir Deschamps. And he's almost gone. He makes a terrible mistake. Mossy Joe has fallen and has brought down Frisco Depot. So drama at the last. Lucky enough to survive it, Sir Deschamps, but he's coming home a long way clear.
Barry's just limping there. He's all right. He's just can get a bit of help off of these lads here. These are national hunt jockeys, not soccer players. They don't lie down. If they're lying down, they're hurt.